What's going on, Sports 2.0 Network? What's going on, Central Illinois? Welcome into the Colten Kahler Show with yours truly. Joined tonight by my good friend and amigo, Corey Hill, Coach Corey Hill, as he's got his name down there, head coach of the University Christian Women. Girls, it's tough being in college. You're used to saying women, but girls basketball team in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, anything for a friend. We got a little bit of everything tonight. We'll jump right into it. Your guy right there, Cam Newton, back where he started in 2011, first round draft pick. It took him to the Super Bowl in 2015, and he's back.
Yeah, man. Actually, believe it or not, heard the news from you. Was driving and heard the news about my boy Cam back in Carolina. So really excited about that. I was thinking I needed to maybe sell my Panthers Cam Newton jersey, but and get a new one depending on what team he ended up on. But sure enough, he's back in Carolina, and I can wear my jersey proud.
Yeah, you got the Heat beanie on. I think you found your team in Florida. That even though you are a Bulls fan at heart, you also wear a beanie and you live in Florida, so it makes no sense. But
yep, I have my Bulls beanie right next to me too. If we need to change halfway through the show, I can do that.
Bulls had they got the night off after their big win. Was it last night over the Dallas Mavericks? They pretty well shut down Luka last night.
Yeah, man, they're playing pretty well. It's fun to watch. I wasn't watching too much of the NBA over the past couple of years after the team kind of shifted around in Chicago, and even though I'm living in Florida, I got the NBA League Pass. I'm tuning into all the Chicago games, and it's fun to watch them.
So we'll stay in the NFL. Obviously, the news with Cam Newton today. Obviously, I texted you right away because I knew how much of a Cam Newton kind of guy you were. Was that something that started when he was in college?
Well, it's a funny story. It's funny you ask. I was actually traveling down to Florida to see some family, and ran into him at a normal airport of all places. No one knew who he was, even though he's 6'6". Football player, and I actually ran into him. I got to meet him, and I think I didn't get to take a picture with him, which was depressing. But ever since then, I kind of just, I was a little bit younger. It was right after I think he was getting ready to be in the league, and then ever since then, I kind of just been a fan. So I'm interested to see how he does. I know he gets kind of a hard time. He is definitely someone that they got to pay attention to in the locker room, make sure he's, staying on track. He can get a little out of control sometimes, but I think he's, just my own opinion, I think he's over the last 10 years, I think he's been a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. And I was kind of surprised that it took so long for someone to pick him up, but I'll be interested to see how he does.
I think a big part of it is they didn't know how he would be in the locker room situation and kind of how he would deal with that. And there's no reason. Cam Newton's a better quarterback than Mike White. Mike White did throw for 400 yards, but there's no reason Cam could not have played right now for the Houston Texans. There's teams you could go around. He could easily play for the Dolphins right now, and we'll see tonight who's going to play quarterback for the Dolphins. But I was, waiting to see if Dallas would pick him up. But again, he said that he didn't want to be a backup and he wanted to be a starter. And obviously he was kind of forced out of New England after arguably last year through 2-3 weeks. He was probably one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And it's definitely it was confusing, and I'm just watching them talk about it right now. It sounds like, up to a deal up to $10 million. So they're definitely they're willing to pay him. So it sounds like he's not going to play this week. Probably no experience with Matt Rule, I think, is the coach there in Carolina, and try to get him acclimated. But I think he should be maybe next week.
Yeah, from what I heard, it's going to be PJ Walker this week. PJ Walker was an XFL quarterback for the 5-6 weeks that they had that back before COVID. And he played really well in the XFL and got a tryout and was actually signed with the Carolina Panthers. And then I think he lost the starting job when Sam Darnold was traded to Carolina. But he gets his shot this week, and I think it'd be good for the game if PJ Walker played good this week, led Carolina to a win. Because they've got a tough opponent. Where are they? I just saw them earlier because I think they're on our Pigskin Pickem at the end of the week. Oh yes, Arizona. They play one of arguably the best team in the NFL right now. So it'll be interesting to see how PJ Walker handles that tough defense.
Yeah, I mean they they don't have a super easy schedule finishing out, but not terribly difficult either. Have some. I'm just looking at it now. Obviously, got to play the Bucs twice towards the end of the season. Got to play the Saints, but a game coming up in 3 weeks against Miami, a game next week against Washington. So winnable games, and we'll see if maybe if Cam can. I'm hoping they bring him back to start next week, and maybe you can relive some magic for the Panthers. I mean, they're 4-5 right now. Right behind, right there by Atlanta, and even New Orleans is at 5-3, and Tampa at 6-2. Anything can happen. It'll be interesting to see how they do finish the season.
Other news in the NFL today, Odell Beckham signs with the Los Angeles Rams. So I'm of the opinion that Odell made a lot of money off of one catch. He's been good, as a wide receiver for, about 2-3 years right after that. But by no means has he been arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL at any point in his career. And I'm not a big believer in Odell Beckham Jr. because you've seen since, probably about the last 4 years or so, just kind of how bad he's been and how much of a locker room distraction he is.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you here. I haven't really been a huge fan of him. I think there's a lot of hype around it because of, like you said, the one catch. And every once in a while, I think he will have pretty spectacular catches, but they're few and far between at this point in his career. And he's not really someone I feel like many people worry about. And at least when I've watched him play, just his ability to be consistent is not really there. So definitely don't think he's a top receiver in the league.
No, and you would think that at this point in his career, he might be going to a team where he can shine and where he can kind of be the guy and where he's going to get a lot of targets. And he did the exact opposite. He went to a team that's got a chance at being a Super Bowl contender, a team that he's probably not going to get a lot of targets at. But again, he's going for the ring right now. And so he joins a team that's fighting in one of the toughest divisions in football. And I find it interesting, all these moves that the Rams are doing, and they still could easily lose their division because Arizona is just playing that good.
Yeah, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think the Rams are. I think the Rams are going to win that division. I think the Rams are the best team in that conference, and I think that you're right about Odell. I think it'll be interesting. I don't know how many targets he's going to end up with per game. What that's going to look like for the Rams, but I mean, interesting situation. I think that if he can be a good locker room presence and be okay with what he's getting, I think it's a good move for him and potentially a team that could compete for a Super Bowl.
It's a 1-year deal, so it's kind of a win-win for both sides. If, Los Angeles is not happy with what they get, they're up at the end of the year. And if Odell plays well, he's got a chance, or he can go somewhere else where he's won. So I think it's a win-win for both sides on the 1-year deal. And it'll be interesting because we'll see this week the first time Von Miller in a Rams uniform, and already adding that to that defense with Leonard Floyd, with Aaron Donald, and then you throw Von Miller in there. That's going to be tough for any offense.
Yeah, I agree. The defense is already pretty good as it is. their special teams. I was just reading something earlier today. They were talking about they really don't have too many weaknesses, and now you're adding these pieces on both sides of the ball. I'll be interested. I think, a lot of people aren't talking too much about their running game. I'll be interested to see how they can incorporate that in, because I think if, it's funny. I have Henderson as my running back, and so I'm interested to see how this will play out. Because that, it could. I don't know. Do you think maybe he'll get more targets, or the running game will be better?
That's one thing that I talked about today. At school with a couple of guys was, that they're all right, but they don't have that great of a running game. And Henderson's been doing an okay job, but if they would have had Cam Akers, it would be a much different story this year. And I think arguably they would be the best team in the NFC. I especially with Robert Woods and with Cooper Kupp already in that wide receiver department, to throw Odell in there, it adds, but it might take away from everyone else too if they're trying to force certain things to Odell. It'll be interesting to see, because he won't play this week. It'll just be interesting to see kind of how it goes and how they incorporate him in their offense.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Looking at the Ravens Dolphins right now, looks like Tua, he's dressed and he's ready to go. So there was a game time decision tonight. Last week it was Jacoby Brissett, and they got the win over the Houston Texans. Absolute barn burner of a game last week. But we're gonna hop into a little bit of basketball talk. As I mentioned, you're a high school basketball coach. You're getting ready for your season. How are the girls looking down there in Jacksonville?
Well, appreciate you showing some support for the University Christian girls team. It's always an exciting time. I know when I was in Illinois, high school basketball was a big thing there. I'll tell you this, that high school basketball is not as big in Florida. We're a football state. But being a head coach and running my own program here has always been a dream. And we ended up getting very blessed with some new players in. We got an 8th grader in that's actually going to start tomorrow night in our first preseason game, and we got a 6'4" transfer in that's got a couple offers from University of Miami, University of South Florida, and places like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they gel as we're probably top 2, top 3 team in the state this year. So hopefully we can make some noise.
Be dunking a little bit, shooting the threes, working that inbounds pass that Corey Hill really likes.
Yeah, we were just practicing it today in practice, throwing it up to. It's a lot easier when you have a 6'4" girl on the court, where you can just throw it up by the rim and she can pretty much dunk it. So it's fun. It should be a good season.
We're getting ready here. Metamora boys will have our scrimmage, closed scrimmage on Saturday. I'll be there a little bit for that, because we got to do the Danny Grieve show. Uh-oh. And then we're no longer at Ottawa this year. It's very sad, a tournament very near and dear to my heart. Best hospitality room in the state. I'll stand by that. I'll take that to my grave. And we're at the Washington Tournament of Champions this year. Great tournament. It's got a lot of history in it. A lot of great players. Anthony Davis has played in it. I believe Victor Oladipo played in it.
Zion,
Miles Turner.
Tyler
Hero. There's Nerlens Noel. Oh, there's quite a few names that I'm missing, but you see a lot of the best talent, and I'm trying to think who's going to highlight it this year. There's a kid from Yorkville Christian, Jaden Shutt. He's going to Duke, so he'll be pretty good there. There's someone else that I'm missing. Ethan Kaiser from Metamora. We'll see. It's a big junior year for him. I think Metamora is going to be really good, and it could be a trip to state this year, as long as we don't get screwed in the super sectional. But not that I'm bitter or anything. So it will be sad at the end of the year that there is no March Madness in Peoria. The Rainbow Shot champion, the Rainbow Shot king. That's what I should have mentioned. The Rainbow Shot king is here tonight on the Sports 2.0 network, and there will be no more Rainbow Shot. It's done.
What's up with that? It's I must not be on the in. Are they moved?
So they moved to Champaign, And when the news first broke, I was able to get an interview that night with Matt Troha. He's one of the higher ups in the IHSA. Works, I think, right directly under Craig Anderson. And I asked him, I go, a big part of, what Peoria has done for March Madness is the experience. I go, as one who kind of took advantage of that and one who grew up with that, how is that going to translate to Champaign? He says, well, that's something that's kind of special to Peoria. And we don't know if we can necessarily take it with us to Champaign, but we're going to try and do something. And so I have no idea what their plan is and what they're going to do. But it is a little sad that the Rainbow Shot King can no longer be there. The Rainbow Shot King Jr. can no longer be there. It's a sad day.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Maybe it's fate for the Rainbow Shot to be over in Peoria now that the so-called, what you're calling the Rainbow Shot King has moved to Florida. So maybe it's you
don't have to fly back anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's good that I left on top. I feel pretty good about that. No one taking the crown, so that's great.
What was it? 4 times you won?
4 times.
4 times. And did Drew tie you, or is he trailing?
I think he's trailing. He might be at 2 or 3.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, the Rainbow Shot, it's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. Basically, like, you start at the free throw line and you work your way back in a certain amount of time, and the winner at the end of the night wins $500, $250 for yourself and $250 for a school of your choice. So, fun time. You get to go in front of the crowd there at Carver, and hopefully you don't hit one off the scoreboard like Ryan did one year.
Yeah, I probably did that a couple times too, in the many of throws that I chucked up there. What a great memory to reminisce there. Good times.
Basketball, college basketball has started. Are you an Illinois guy? I can't remember.
Yeah, man, to be honest, I really want to get back into college basketball. I didn't really used to be an NBA guy. I used to follow the Bulls all the time, when Derrick Rose was there and Joakim Noah and those guys. And even before then, Kirk Heinrich and Ben Gordon and back in those days. But I feel like I've kind of gotten away from – I've been that guy that just watches college basketball when it comes to March Madness and filling out a bracket. So I'd like to get back into it and start watching a little more college basketball. But, I was always a big UNC guy. Michael Jordan played there, obviously. Big fan of Roy Williams. He's not there anymore, right? He
retired. This will be his second year, I believe. He's retired.
And so Coach K's out too, right?
After this is Coach K's last year.
So he is coaching.
What's that?
He is coaching this year.
Yes, he is.
Okay, last year. Wow.
And then he'll be handing it off. What's that?
You think John Shire?
Yes.
Over there, right?
Yep. Yeah. I have heard that like 9 out of the 10 most expensive tickets are all like Duke home games this year. And I think the 10th most expensive ticket was the Duke Kentucky game the other night to kick off the season. So it's not going to be cheap to go to Cameron Indoor Stadium this year to see Coach K.
Yeah, that'll be hopefully they have a magical last season. I haven't even been following the rankings. I don't know how good they're supposed to be.
They are number 9, I believe, because Kentucky was number 8. I think it was like an 8-9 matchup or something like that on Tuesday night. I went down to watch Illinois beat up on Jackson State. Primetime U is what I like to call them. That's Dion's school. That game was pretty boring. About a waste of a 3-hour drive total in the car that night. But, it's good to see all the new guys from Illinois because Illinois did not have any of their starters that would be starting, maybe besides DeMonte. But other than that, it was all the new guys and guys last year that really didn't play a lot. So it was good to see kind of the new guys in. Illinois plays Arkansas State tomorrow. I will not be going down for that. And then Bradley, they have their home opener on Saturday at 2:00 against Howard. Bradley got it handed to them a little bit on Tuesday night in South Dakota, so they'll be looking to rebound there. I still can't get over Gonzaga. They're the number one team, and they have Chet. Have you seen Chet Holmgren?
I have.
Yeah, and he had a historic night. But I mean, for crying out, they played Dixie. It's not like he played. It's not like he had a historic night against Kansas or somebody. They played Dixie. I don't buy into the Gonzaga hype all the time.
Not much to say there, really. I'm kind of on the same page as you, but watching him over the years, Mark Few is a great coach, and he's done some great things there. And I think the flack that they always get is the teams that they play and all that stuff. But relatively decent team from year to year, and I guess we'll just see if they can live up to being the number one.
There's a lot of college basketball going on this weekend. Illinois Marquette will be a marquee matchup on Monday night. That'll be at Marquette for the Fighting Illini. So it's here before we know it. Basketball season is right upon us. So we're going to go to tonight's game in the NFL. My Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins, and down in DJ's country, DJ's lay of the land there.
I wonder if he's at the game.
What?
I said I wonder if he's at the game.
No, I think he's got a game tonight. They're on the road somewhere. I think tonight's their first game.
I think I'm gonna go in a couple of weeks and check them out in Melbourne. They're playing his old school that he was at, Eastern Florida State. I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay, all right. Miami-Dade, check them out. Coach DJ Jenkins, our good friend. But Miami's got a lot of question marks, obviously, surrounding their quarterback situation. I thought last year, I think they were much better, obviously, than what they are this year. I don't know where the fall off came from year to year. Brian Flores, is he on the hot seat? I don't really know. I think he's shown signs that he could really turn this around. I think he's got to find his everyday quarterback, and Tua just has not been able to stay healthy enough. Is it too early to press the bust button on Tua?
That's a great question. I haven't got to see him play too much. I'm not a huge fan of what they got going on in Miami right now. I think Flores is a good coach. I think he definitely should. They definitely should give him another couple of years, I believe. But I think they need some better players. I don't think that quarterback situation is going to last. I don't think it should. But I don't know if it's too early to push the button there on Tua. But I do know that they're gonna get beat by at least 2 touchdowns tonight against Baltimore. They're in trouble.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, because all day I've been seeing people Dolphins money line, Dolphins spread. And
gosh.
I'm tired of it. What
is the spread?
8.5.
Oh, yikes. Not even close.
I would put, I wouldn't say I'd put my mortgage on it because I don't have a mortgage, one, but two, that's a lot of money. And I am confident the Ravens, I am a Ravens fan. I'm diehard, and I'm still not buying into hype of this team. I'm really waiting for the other foot to fall. We've had a lot of close comebacks. You look at our game against Indianapolis, just pretty well did not play 3 quarters of football. You look at our comeback win against the Chiefs. Granted, we played bad early, and then about the last 3 quarters we played all right. And then last week against Minnesota, lucky to get to overtime and then to win in overtime. And it reminds me of Pittsburgh's season last year, where you're just like, man, this team's just not really good, but they're just finding ways to win. And then I'm just hoping we don't fall flat on our face like Pittsburgh did in the playoffs last year. But we've seen some injuries, but what are your thoughts on the Ravens?
Listen, man, I was just actually looking at some stats earlier today. I was a big fantasy guy, and what is going on with the running back situation in Baltimore? Do they have anybody that can do anything? Because I don't believe that the running back that they're starting, are they starting Freeman? Is he their guy?
So basically, what happened is at the start of the season, our starting running back is J.K. Dobbins. and our backup is Gus Edwards. In the last week of preseason, Harbaugh sent the first team out there for 2 drives. And on the second drive of the game, the last play, Dobbins tears his ACL. So you're like, man, that hurts, but at least we've still got Gus Edwards, who's a really good 2-back. The week before regular season in practice, Gus Edwards tears his ACL. The next play, Ravens drop back on defense. Our star cornerback, Marcus Peters, tears his ACL. So we tore two ACLs in the span of 2 plays, and we had already tore one the week before in the preseason game. So
it sounds like they need to fire their strength and conditioning coach.
It was a brutal start to the year. So, you're already down your first 2 running backs, and that's Devonta Freeman, Le'Veon Bell, and who's the third one that I'm missing? Murray?
Williams?
Oh, yeah, Williams. Williams was on the team, but they picked up Devonta Freeman, Latavius Murray, and Le'Veon Bell all this year because they had to do something. So Williams does not get a lot of looks, and it's pretty well between Freeman, Bell. Bell had a touchdown last week, and then obviously Freeman, I believe he had a touchdown as well last week here recently, but he's been he had 16 points, I think, in fantasy last week, so it was a good week for him. But, man, the Ravens, I don't know. I really don't know. We will get into our Pigskin Pickem, and we're going to do a little more basketball this week as well because Corey's not too much of a college football guy, which is all right. It's my show. I can do what I want. We'll start here in the NBA. Tonight, Indiana at Utah. I will take the Jazz in this one.
Listen, this is I just want to make this comment, make it be known that I haven't done this yet on your show, but I am going to go undefeated, and hopefully that's good enough for first place title.
First place right now is Tanner Kern at 9-2. So
it's a good performance, but I'm confident with my picks coming up here. So
right.
We got you said Indiana and Utah.
Yep.
And you took who?
I took the Jazz.
Yeah, that's a safe pick. I'm going to go with the Jazz as well on that one.
Next game is tonight as well. Miami on a back-to-back. Your somewhat Miami Heat at the Clippers. I'll take Miami.
Listen, I can't go against the Heat. I think tonight might be interesting. I know you're talking about we're not sure if Kawhi's playing tonight. He's been out. I'm not even sure what's going on with him. I don't follow anybody but Miami and Chicago. So I'm going with Miami here, man.
I like it. It's just the easy pick. And I think after the kind of letdown they had last night, it'll be a good pickup game for them. Tomorrow night, Milwaukee at Boston on ESPN. I'm going to go with Boston. I think they'll find a way to turn it around.
Yeah, I appreciate your optimism there, Colten. But I'm going to go Milwaukee. I'm a big Giannis fan. He's one of the best players in the league. It's only 26 years old. Dude can play. Big Brad Stevens guy. I think he's a fantastic coach. But Milwaukee.
He's in the front office now. He's not even coaching anymore.
Yeah. Who is coaching now?
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Right?
Yeah. The second game on ESPN tomorrow night, the late game, Chicago at Golden State. They'll be without Nikola Vucevic. He is in COVID protocol as of today. I'm going to take – I like the Bulls. I'm low-key a closet Bulls fan, as I've told you this year. I'm going to take the Warriors in this one.
Really? I might need a 20-second explanation about that one.
Golden State's right now got the best record in the Western Conference. Steph is playing really well. Draymond, they've got Andre back. And announced today, Clay might be back before Christmas Day. So that team's about to get even more dangerous.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chicago here. they're playing pretty well. I understand, without Vucevic, I think he's averaging a double-double. I didn't think he's been playing very well, at least not as well as I thought he was playing when he was in Orlando. Would like to see him play better. But, man, DeRozan and Levine, those dudes can play, both averaging right around 26 a game. Steph's averaging, second most points per game in the league. But I don't even think they have another guy inside the top 60. So I'll be interested. I think the Bulls are going to shut down Steph a little bit, relatively speaking. He still is going to get his points, but I think they're going to shut him down, and I don't think Golden State's going to have anybody else to turn to.
We'll switch to the NFL for the last few games. We'll do New Orleans at Tennessee, and I saw this game, and I've kind of gone back and forth because Tennessee really played well last week, and I don't know how to feel about New Orleans, but can Tennessee kind of repeat the performance they had last week? And it's a question that I'm struggling to answer, but I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm just going to go with Tennessee.
I haven't looked to see, is that a home game for the Titans?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go Tennessee too. I'd like to see the Saints lose in honor of Cam and bringing back the Panthers in that division. So go Titans.
Next game, Cleveland at New England. Cleveland played really well last week, and they may have found their stride in their first game without Odell. I'll take Cleveland, but I'll take them in a close one.
Yeah, this could be the one to ruin my streak here of perfect games. I'm torn between this one as well, my friend. You happen to know where that one's at?
At New England in Foxborough.
You got the weather conditions too, right, buddy?
I do not. I can ask Tanner. Tanner's doing ring chasers later tonight, so.
Okay. I'm gonna go New England.
Gonna go New England. I like it. It's bold. It's different. I like it. Minnesota at the Chargers. Minnesota's coming off a just terrible second half last week, and a game that they probably should have won against my Ravens, but they didn't, and I'll take it. So I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think they'll get it done.
I'm with you, buddy. No explanation needed. Chargers are going to win by 20. Seattle
at Green Bay, and this one really depends on I forgot to put up my graphic. There we go. This one really depends, I think, on whether or not Aaron Rodgers plays. It's still unknown, and that's what kind of sucks right now at Thursday. I think Russell Wilson is playing, and he's cleared to go. So here's what I'm going to do. If Aaron Rodgers is playing, I'm taking the Packers. If Aaron Rodgers is not playing, I will take the Seahawks. How's that sound?
Sounds great. I would like to match you with that theory, if that's all right.
That is perfectly acceptable. We've done that a week before with Dan Bradley, and why not? Kansas City at Vegas. I think Vegas is playing really well this year, and Kansas City has been exposed. Their offense just cannot get it done right now. Patrick Mahomes is not playing well. I saw today a stat that Patrick Mahomes in his last 14 games has thrown more interceptions than Aaron Rodgers has in his last 62. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna take Vegas. I'm gonna go with Vegas.
Yeah, I think there's obviously a lot going on there in Vegas. I listened to Derek Carr speak about their last situation with Henry Ruggs, and what a good guy, Derek Carr. I think he's gonna lead them to victory this weekend.
I like that. Sunday night football, Los Angeles Chargers. Excuse me. No, Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. I'll take the Rams. I just don't think San Francisco is that good this year.
Roll it. Rams.
And tonight, it'll be kicking off here in about 15 minutes. My Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins. In the last 3 meetings, the Ravens have outscored the Dolphins 135-16. I think you know where I'm going to go with this one.
Really, Miami? That's a bold choice there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take Baltimore in a close one, and by close one, I mean 20. No chance for Miami tonight.
I like it. I like it. So again, tonight on Fox, Ravens at the Dolphins. It's been fun, Corey. I appreciate it. You coming on and spending some time with me. But that is going to do it for our time here tonight on the Sports 2.0 Network. We'll see you next week on the Colten Kahler Show. For Corey Hill, this is Colten Kahler. We'll see you next week, and thanks for tuning in.